Chapter 1. History. The early history of the Bru remains somewhat obscure because they have no written historical document. Researchers and the Bru themselves believe that the ancestors of the Bru were members of the Tibeto-Burmese family. According to researchers and the Bru themselves, believe that around 3000 BC ago the Brus originally inhabiting the area on the bank of the rivers Yangtze and Huanghe in western China in the past. It is said that due to many disturbances created by the Chinese, the Brus people have to move to the northwest of Tibet. Then they spread to Burma, Laos, Vietnam and Bangladesh. The Brus entered India crossing Tibet through Burma and Bangladesh of Chittagong Hill tracts. Many centuries the Bru people were permanently settled in the Chittagong Hill tracts. The Bru king established his kingdom in the northwest of Mayani Hills and the border of the source of Gomathi River, around 9th century ago. At present also many Brus live in Chittagong Hill tracts. Chapter 2. Settlement and Village. The Bru settled mostly in the hilly areas and sometimes on narrow strips of valley between hillocks. Traditionally they lived in small houses that are built on stilts. The houses are mostly built by bamboo and which are erected on pillars of about 4 to 5 feet above the ground. The houses are locally known as sharnu. They live in a group of families of 20 to 30. Each settlement is known as para, which is named after the head of the village, which is locally known as Rai. Nowadays Rai is Chowdhury. Traditionally their house is simple, which has 3 parts viz. Sangsi, Nukchar and Nugu. Chapter 3. Economy, Occupation and Craft Works. The main occupation of the Bru is mutual/and-burn agriculture known as jum cultivation, which is locally called as hook. Nowadays many men and women of the Brus posted in different government higher position like DM, SDM, BDO, Minister, MLA, Doctor, Engineer, Professor, HM, Advocate, Singer, Soldier, Teacher, Police and other. But economically and educationally most of the Brus are backwards than other tribes of Tripura state of India. The main staple of their diet is rice. The main crops grown by the Bru are paddy, chili, sesame, maize, turmeric, ginger, bean, gourd, cucumber, snake gourd, pumpkin, cotton, lady's finger, bitter gourd and many kinds of vegetables. They involved in animal husbandry, fishing and hunting. All the domestic animals and fowls are made use of for both food, sacrificed and sell. Sometimes they rear cow and bull for milk and sell. They are also involved in various craft works which include basket making, straw mats, do, hookah, grain storage basket, clang, hand fan, chapa, chakhukhok, baling, toilanga, laku, bokhao, tokhok, makam, choka, choki, risham, rumo, chingpai, betra, thopong, dingi and slam etc. The Bru women are very much skillful for weaving clothes. They weaving rurnai, rusha, boki, turban, curtain, pillow cover, towel and loincloth for menfolk etc. Chapter 4. Food, Drink and Smoking. Rice is the staple food of the Brus and they mostly eaten rice 3 times a day. They take all kinds of green vegetables, meat, fish and egg. Dry fish and oily fish are favorite to them. The Brus have another famous item known as thamso pingmo. This thamso pingmo is prepared in the green bamboo pipe. Pork, chicken, fish, egg, mutton and goat meat etc. are prepared into various dishes. But some other Bru who are converted to Vaishnavism, they are vegetarian. Bamboo shoots is one of the favorite food item of the Brus. Drink is an indispensable part of life of the Brus. Apart from its consumption, the country liquor, locally known as arak, is profusely used in socio-religious life. Wine or arak is one of the most important item of the Brus' social, economic and religious life. Without wine or arak any kind of puja is not successful. The Brus have customary practice to show respect the superiors with wine. To entertain any respectable guest, wine is must. The Brus' men, women and children are in the habit of smoking. They also cultivate tobacco plantation. Tobacco is called duma. To smoke duma they use their own made smoking hookah, which is locally known as maktuk. It is made of bamboo. The elders and the young smoke together. Primitively there is no restriction among them. Chapter 5. Religion and Festivals. Primitively, the Brus are adherents of traditional Hinduism, which is locally known as Sangsaric Dharma and which is observed as the main along religion of each village along with animism. Their main gods and goddesses are Shibrai, Hangrai, Twabuma, Songrangma, Swanero, Boni Rao, Thunai Rao, Menu Ma, Ku Numa, Haisua Ma, Nusama, Kermtai, Lampramtai, Kusning Rao, Buraha, and evil spirits. Their main social and religious festivals are Hojagri, originally called as Mai Numam Samang, Roya Puja, locally known as Boisu, Abhu Sumo, Mai Bomo, and Kthoi Nemo, etc. Pigs, fowls, goats, eggs and buffaloes are sacrificed in their festivals. The Hindu deities Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna and Lakshmi etc. are worshipped by many Brus. Nowadays some Brus are converted to Christianity and Vaishnavism. Chapter 6. Dress and personal decoration. The traditional dress of the Bru is very simple. Men wear a loincloth, hand-woven, and a shirt, known as kutuitakbru, and a turban locally called as kamsoi mai tang. Women wear a long piece of cloth called runai. They wrap it around their waist. It hangs down up to their knees. They wrap upper body with a piece of cloth called rusha, and they wear a turban locally called as kamsoi. All these cloths are hand-woven by themselves. The Bru women are very fond of personal adornment and favor ornament. The Bru women are used to wear silver ornament, especially the necklace of silver coins locally called as rangba, lukoi, tar, kondroka, wariak, wakam, sangai, earrings, binji, etc. The Bru men wear only mathiya in their wrist. Chapter 7. Village administration. Every village is headed by a village headman, which is locally called as chowdhury. He is elected through a democratic process. He administers the village. To administer the village, the Karbari, who is the assistant of chowdhury, and other elder persons help the chowdhury. Any kind of dispute is brought to the chowdhury for settlement. He is in time helped by other elder persons and Karbari. The chowdhury look after and administer the village. Criminal and civil case in the village except murder or kidnapping they suit and solution. The Okchai, Boido and Karbari are also there in the village for priestly performances, health and help to the chowdhury. Chapter 8. Culture and social structure. The Bru of Tripura are a patriarchal society. Father is the head as well as the guardian of the family. After his death, the eldest son inherits the rights exercised by him. The eldest brother or sister look after and guide his or her younger brothers and sisters. The youngest son or daughter inherit the whole property of their parents. But it is true that the entire property of the family is distributed among the sons and daughters. They have no caste system. There are two types of marriages in the Bru society. These are Kayamo and Toikehai Lalai Mo. The first one is negotiation by both the parents of boy and girl. The second one may any called love marriage. The boy and girl marriage by themselves without the consent of their parents. The boy has to pay bride price in cash or by his service after the marriage. The period of service is 3 to 4 years. Sometimes the bridegroom lives permanently after his service period in the house of his father-in-laws. Child marriage is not allowed. Monogamy is practiced in their society. Widow and widower remarriage is permitted. Divorce is permitted by mutual consent. The Bru is divided into 13 clans or sub-tribes. These are Meska, Molsoi, Chorki, Rekchak, Msha, Chungpreng, Yakcho, Wairem, Nukam, Toimoy, Apito, Yakstam and Riang. Chapter 9. Music, Dance and Song. The Brus are very much loved for music and dancing. Dance is an integral part of Bru life. The Hojagri dance, originally called as Mainumam Saming, of Bru is famous all over the world. Other dance which is performed by them are Goroya dance, Delo dance, Medalm Saming, Hojagri dance, Pandam Saming, dance of rituals of death, etc. They have several kinds of musical instruments of their own. These musical instruments are mostly made by themselves. Their musical instruments are drum, flute, sitar, chungpreng, violin, srenda and dongdu, etc. With accompanied of musical instruments, dance and songs are performed. Their voice is very sweet. They are so expert of modern style of singing and dancing. Chapter 10. Death rituals. The Bru cremate the death body. The funeral rites is performed in 3 simple steps, viz. Kastakimo, Maibomo, and Ktoinemo. Before being carried to the cremation ground, the corpse is bathed and anointed with oil and finally wearing a new cloth. A white piece of cloth is needed to hoisting with a bamboo pole, which is locally called as pola sangmo. Generally practice pola is hoisting both men, women, and child. A ponga is tied to the ears of the corpse. 3 coins are needed. 1 coin is for to keep in the forehead of the corpse and the other 2 coins are for to keep both side cheek of the corpse. Cooked rice and roasted fowl and a bottle of wine kept near the feet of the corpse with 2 birds made of bamboo splits named Bitosa, male, and Baitoma, female. The family members and the relatives carry the corpse to the burning place. Especially the death body is carried out from the house in the noon. The horku is kept beside the chest of the corpse. A smang nu is erect near the funeral place. After cremated the corpse, the next morning the ashes or bones are collected and the ashes or bones are skeep in the smang nu. Then the Maibomo ritual is performed. It continued till the 7 days. After that the ashes or bones were brought from the smang nu to the shirai nu. Then women sang kosmang in chorus and danced circumambulating the shirai nu. 7 times. Men formed a group which is called as Toka, and the other side women formed a group called Tolling. Both the Toka and Tolling groups perform rituals dance. A woman from Tolling group bear the ashes or bones on her back and perform rituals dance. The Kthoi Okchai scattered the holy water on them who are attend in the Sharena with a type of leaf called Komflam Tom. At the village all members of Sandai and Hokshu and others sat together for a communal feast. With this feast the whole part of Ktoinemo come to an end and the death wife or husband is ritually accepted on free from death pollution. Some bruise the ashes or bones of the death immersed into the holy rivers. Especially the Brus of Tripura immerse the ashes or bones of the death into the Dambar of the Gomathi river during the Push Sankranti.